I call it Disneyland for adults. It's so easy to live here. I can't say there's much there's tiny amount of racism here, but it's so small, it's ridiculous, you know, but I would say there's none.
Welcome to the Melanated Files. In this series we highlight and share the stories of black people from across the globe. Remember to subscribe to this channel for weekly videos and also follow us on social media for regular updates. Let's get into the interview.
I don't know why, but I can't seem to get you off my mind. And I know it's true, and I'll say this to you, I want you back. There's something inside, yeah, there's something inside that brings me back to you, yeah. No, I can't hide it, no, I can't hide it anymore. Something inside, something inside.
My name's Michael Francis, and I'm from London, England. I was brought up in, born in Dulwich, and I was brought up in South London near Clapham North. But basically I've lived nearly everywhere in London, so I know London quite well. Why Singapore? Because we was offered a job here, and my wife asked me if you could come here, and I thought about it for about, you know, a few minutes, and it says, this opportunity is never going to come again, so let's just do it. So the problem was I had to go and ask work if I could get time off, a career break. So they turned around and said to me, I had to give me about, what, 3 months, 5 months or something like that, and then they eventually gave me the answer that I could go. So I spent, I don't know, we was only supposed to come here for a year, but ended up staying 9.5 years. So I used to be a fireman in the London Fire Brigade, so yeah, I took a career break from that, yeah. But I only had like 4.5 years left, so yeah. Right now I do a lot of volunteering. I do photography for, for charities. And what I do is I go along mainly to their events, if they're raising money or they're praising, you know, giving good things to their people that have been volunteering. And that's what I do, I just take photographs for them, and then pass them on to them, and then they publish them in their on their website or their magazine or periodicals that people read outside, like Tatler. Well, gosh, so I had this idea. I've been doing like a lot of barbecues and doing like Jamaican food, like jerk chicken or curry goat, and everyone kept saying to me, you know, your food's so good, you should open a restaurant here. And I'm going, no, I can't do that, I can't do that. So eventually, one day, I came up to this place called Bedok Marketplace in the East Coast, and I chatted with the owner, and the owner said, I said to him, I've got this idea of opening one of your food stalls and doing a Jamaican, you know, restaurant. He said to me, well, if you want to do that, just bring the food, cook some food and bring it up here. So I did a big spread, brought it up here, they ate the food, they said it's very, very different and it's delicious. We want you to open up. So it took about, I don't know, it took about 6 months to open up the place, but eventually I got it open. And I got really, really good reviews through Facebook and Instagram. And I had I forgot the name, Esquire magazine and radio stations come down to interview me. So the food was well received in Singapore. So I closed that down in 2017. 2 reasons. It was one, my mother just died, so I had to go back to Jamaica. I got to go back to London and then Jamaica, and the other reasons I couldn't get any staff. Over here they have you got to employ 5 Singaporeans to 1 foreigner, and not many Singaporeans want to do food in the F&B business. So, you know, it was very difficult. I was a one-man show. Gosh, there's too many, there's too many things I like here. Sunshine. What else? The easy way of living. I call it Disneyland for adults. It's so easy to live here. What else do I love? I love the food. You can't pin me down on one thing that I like to eat here. All of it is good, so you should try it. Just come and try it. Gosh, I can't think of some. Oh, no do-it-yourself shops. No big do-it-yourself chains. So you can't just turn up somewhere and buy a tool or buy. Yeah, that's the only thing that I dislike about Singapore. I feel like it's been an adventure. I've met really, really good people here. You just got to be open and just soak up the lifestyle. Also living here as well, you get to travel and see a lot of the other islands and countries around Singapore, like Vietnam, Cambodia, you know, Australia, and so forth. Yeah, I like. Well, put it like this. Yeah, when I first came here, I spent a year eating just chicken rice. And trying it from every different place, yeah, all over, to find out which one was the best. Then the next year I tried wonton noodle soup, and I tried that all over the island. Then the next year, the third year, I tried laksa, and that is completely no matter where you go, it's completely different no matter where you go. So like that's another delicious food as well. But also like masala dosa. I like so many things here. So how would I say? I've been fortunate that I have met many black people here, and we're still friends. Even up to last night, I was out with some of them last night for a birthday. So I've had a really good black network here that we're very, very close, and we meet up a lot. It's totally different. It's, how do you put it again? It's much more relaxed here. Yeah, I can't say there's much there's tiny amount of racism here, but it's so small, it's ridiculous, you know. But I would say there's none, to be honest with you. I think it's pretty easy here. It's very easy to live here. Yeah, very, very easy. You don't have to. You know that feeling when you're walking down the street in the UK or Jamaica or the Caribbean, and you have this little sixth sense or seventh sense going on at the back. You know, you've got this radar looking out for trouble. When you're here, that's switched off. You don't have that at all. It's gone. The general attitude. You're talking from the locals, or you mean your locals? I think it depends. Some stay on their own. Most of them stay on their own. Like if they stay in the HDBs, they stay on their own. But I'd say we mix a lot with Malays and we mix a lot with the Indians, but not so much with the Chinese here. What I mean by that is that you don't see many of the Chinese locals out at the weekends, or if you're living next door, you don't normally see them. They're normally, I don't know, they're either inside doing something, or they're out, the children are studying, or that kind of thing. Yeah, there is a guy here that I know, Donny, but he lives over in the west, and it's a bit far to go over there, so I go to a guy literally downstairs, Atacuts, and I have to explain to him how to get my hair done. So I have to tell him how to comb the hair. I said, you don't be so gentle, be tough. My hair's it's not going to hurt me. Just be rough with my hair, yeah. And I have to teach him how to use the clippers, and no, he's Malay. He's Malay, but he's black anyway. Yeah, he's black the same. Yeah. The biggest difference, I think, is it's much more cosmopolitan, and there's the same amount of things going on over here. It's just that they don't advertise it. So you tend to stumble onto things in Singapore, whereas in the UK, you hear a lot more and people talk about it a lot more. Gosh, one thing in the world. What thing will I change? I'd like people to love each other more, because that's the way to go forward. There's too many. There's too many. One of them's Ricky Gervais. I like to just sit down and chat with him, pick his brain. Barack Obama. Gosh, who else? Denzel Washington. Samuel L. Jackson. Bob Marley. And yeah, that's it, yeah. Having children, and that's my biggest accomplishment. My earliest memory is at home, hiding behind the sofa from the cat. Biggest lesson. You have to work hard for what you get, what you need to get, yeah, out of life. You got to work hard. Stop fighting, stop warring, stop causing discord in the world. I see Singapore as a can-do nation, so if they plan on doing something, they get it done. They get it done. That's what's great about Singapore. I would say Gardens by the Bay East, and the reason why we go there for picnics, and we sit down there and we see, the view is of the Marina Bay Sands, the Singapore Flyer, and all those wonderful buildings. The biggest misconception is that there's the laws, and that you'll get fined for everything, yeah. So it's much more relaxed than you think. And one of the things I noticed when I first came here, they put on a show called Rocky Horror Show, and we were wondering whether to dress up for it, yeah. And then when we got there, there's half the audience was dressed up. And when we sat down to watch the Rocky Horror Show, they showed every single thing. They didn't cut one thing out. Wasn't censored at all. And that's when I realized that Singapore was changing. Yeah. So one of the things, the chewing gum one, you can't buy chewing gum. That's why you can't buy it. So it's impossible. You might be able to bring it in, but you can't buy it. Yeah. Oh, the spitting one. I've not seen anyone being charged for spitting, but I have seen the police arrest people here. And it's amazing how they do it. Especially down in the center, it's usually plainclothes police, and they just grab the person and it's gone. They're gone, like quick. They're not. You wouldn't even know that it happened. It's so quick. So it is true that you will get the cane here. It is true for drugs. You will definitely get that. The death penalty is definitely here. But because of that, I think most people are peaceful here. So I've not seen, I think I've only ever seen one fight here since I've been here. I think with the movie, what's it called? Something Rich Asians? Crazy Rich Asians, yeah? I think that really showed what the rich Asians, or what it's like in Singapore. It's pretty accurate, yeah. I once went on when I was young, I went on a boat, a ketch, which is a 72-foot boat with 2 masts. And we went from Harwich to Zeebrugge on this boat, and we was in a force 7 gale. And the boat was like, there was waves about 30 foot above the boat, and then we'd be above the wave, you know, on top of the wave, and then back down into this swell. And the captain asked us to pull the sail down, and I climbed up to try and do it, and I didn't clip on properly, and I nearly fell into the sea. Oh, wow. And they would never have found me if I fell in, yeah. They go to either Mike's Caribbean Food, or they go to my Facebook, Michael Francis on Facebook, exactly, from the UK, or living in Singapore now.
Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to share your story or have us visit your region, send us a message on any of our social media platforms or via our website.
That's good.